Okay, continuing. That's always fun. The DNA, right? Deoxyribonucleic acid, right? The chromosomes and the genetic material and all that good stuff that makes up our physical structure. The DNA within us is able to respond to emotion, to light, and to sound. Emotion, light, and sound, okay? So when you want to ground yourself, like if I'm doing a group, I found that the easiest way to get everyone to be centered was to do a nice ohm, yeah? And you get everyone ohming, and everyone loves to ohm, and oh, yeah? And then boom, immediately people come out of their conversation, their heads, etc., and there's a focus there. So sound, of course, is hugely powerful at helping us to focus. Okay, so DNA responds to sound, and DNA responds to light, so, which is why it's great to get some daylight and all that, yeah, when you can and as you can, and to gaze into the sun. My partner Arancha out in Spain has been sun gazing up to, hey, there's my buddy Aiden, sun gazing for up to like 10 minutes, which is really extraordinary, you know, and no, she's not gone blind or mad or anything like that. So we can learn how to drink in the prana of the universe, and you know, of course, you're all students of all this. There are people out there that are living on light, but that's another conversation for another time. Anyway, sound, light, and emotion, DNA. So if we're sad, or if things are dark, or when we're sleeping, etc., then our DNA is contracted within us, and it's not projecting much energy, etc. But when we are, you know, toning, chanting, singing, you know, enjoying great music, etc., all of that, then our DNA opens up like a little antenna, and it begins to broadcast photons of light and energy into our field. And so enlightenment, you know, is about being able to be at this higher vibrational frequency more of the time, which of course love helps you to learn how to do, and love is what it's all about. So, you know, the heart is the master teacher of our reality because the heart is our guide about love. Okay. So back to, yeah, is that good for DNA? Yeah, I think so at the moment here. So just keep that in mind about grounding, manifesting, meditating, the use of your words, the use of music, conscious intending. Yeah, all right, I'm going to mention when I get to the I ams, but I'll finish a little more here from Patricia. Thank you. The beings of light said that even the most awakened light worker, envisioning the patterns of perfection for the new earth, is mostly focusing on reversing the gross mutations we've created after our fall from grace. For instance, people think heaven on earth would be the elimination of poverty, hunger, war, hatred, disease, etc., etc. All of that is important. I'll just read this much. All of that is important, but it does not even begin to scratch the surface of the glorious patterns of divine love, reverence for life, and oneness that are available on the new earth. Nor does it begin to touch the limitless patterns of bliss, ecstasy, and wonder and awe that are pulsating in the causal body of God. These are the patterns that will be flowing into the mental and emotional strata of Earth. This is where I'm going here. When the portal for the realms of cause over Alaska is open to full breadth, August 13th through the 20th, 2016. This facet of the divine plan will be victoriously accomplished once we complete this final stage of preparation. Okay, so Patricia basically does this gathering every summer, at some sacred spot on the planet, and she invites people to go with her. This year they're doing a cruise in Alaska. If you're able to go, be my guest. You know, enjoy it. Yeah, let us know. But wherever we're at, you know, we're focusing our energy, to connecting with spirit, obviously, and to being channels for these energies. Great. And so, you know, just to be aware of these calendar, you know, these time considerations, etc. Okay. So, yeah, she talks next about the June solstice of 2016. I think save that for the next time. Yeah. All right. Okay. Right. All right. This is her prayer. All right. That's what I'm looking at now. Manifest. All right. So her prayer for, which I'll read here in a minute, gets us into the I am. Okay. And Patricia works with the I am. James Twyman and Wayne Dyer did the Moses Code. That works with the I am. I talked about Greg Braden a minute ago. I'll talk about him a little bit more because he comes into all of this. And of course we have, she mentioned Saint Germaine, and we have here what's called the I Am Discourses, yeah, which is a great free book. Saint Germaine, you know, was this ascended master, and I got to stay in Mount Shasta years ago, and Amora Kuan Yin, who is another Pleiadian channeler, bless her heart, she put me and my girlfriend up with her for a few days there, and she's a lovely lady. She's passed on. She's in spirit now. But Jason Wilson, I don't know if you're out there tonight, he put me next to Amora with a whole bunch of other lovely channels and whatnot, so I put that up as a memorial to Amora, as well as all that other good energy that those channels have to share with us. Matt Kahn and Cryon and Lee Carroll and all these good folks. So it's nice to be in that illustrious company. Okay, but what I want to talk about is the I am. So, and come back to Greg Braden again. Greg Braden has done many great books and about consciousness and working with consciousness. I'm sure you all are familiar with him. Yeah, and one of the names of God, here we go, is Yod-He-Vod-He, yeah, and it's in the Hebrew alphabet, I believe it's written as YWVH, YHVH, Yod-He-Vod-He, Yod-He-Vod-He, yeah. And what Greg Braden discovered is that of the four codons of the DNA, I don't remember what they are, yeah, the glycosamine and whatever, they represent these four letters of God's name, basically. And it's the God Code. That's the name of his book, yeah. And he also has another one called Divine Matrix. And in the God Code, you start to realize that if you can work with invoking the name of God, because you are a part of God, yeah, in your intentions and in your vibrations and in your prayers and affirmations, etc. This is what I want to try to put together here. Then, of course, you're doing that in a very powerful way. So, you know, the I am, this music that I'm playing here from James Twyman, which is beautifully done. James is a lovely teacher, a great musician, very, very talented, wonderful friend to us all on the path here. He took that information and he was able to turn it into music, basically. Yeah, and so you can find this on YouTube. Where is it? Yeah, James Twyman, Moses Code, Frequency Meditation. Okay, so you can play this. It's a brilliant thing to meditate to. It immediately centers you. It immediately resonates with all your cells. You know, I'll just turn up a little bit here. You know, it immediately pulls you into a really peaceful and deep space. Okay, so on the recording, they have this at like 2 30-minute segments, etc. Okay, so when you listen to this music, you're in the vibration of the I am. You're in the vibration of Yod-He-Vod-He. Yeah, and when yeah, shall I talk about ohms and ahs? Wayne Dyer did another technique, which you also might enjoy playing with, where he said all the names of the divine, Jehovah and God and Ra and Yeshua and Buddha and Krishna, and you know, why do they all have the ah sound in their name? You know, like Jesus does not have the ah sound in the name. Yeshua has the ah sound in the name. Because evidently, we have the 7 chakras. They're aligned to the musical scale. Everything, the divine matrix, everything, all of our patterns repeat, within us and around us. We're the instrument, and life is the song. You could say it that way. Okay. Apologies, I'm trying to get a lot of information here tonight, so you'll have to do your research. But what Wayne Dyer has is he has the ahs and the ohms. You can find this meditation for manifestation. It's a wonderful recording, and I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. So in the morning, when you want to manifest something, he has you ah for 20 minutes. And you visualize light coming out of your third eye, and you visualize light coming out of your root chakra, and that is to clear all 7 centers. And you imagine what you're wanting or what you're intending to come together at your heart center, and you just chant ah for those 20 minutes. He has you do it 10 minutes open, and then he has you do it 10 minutes listening to affirmations. Okay, so that's ahs and ohms. To come back to I am here, I want to see if I can get to I am Discourses. Trying to, like I say, give you a lot of information here if I can. Boom, boom, boom. But I hope this is inspiring, because it's certainly exciting for me to talk about all these things. Okay, so you can find the I am Discourses, which were channeled in Mount Shasta. That's how I started to talk about Amora Kuan Yin. For free as a PDF file. And here's... Okay, this is the introduction to the book. I want to go to one of the discourses. Here we go. Okay, so just feel the energy of this, because this is another great way to raise your vibration. This is Saint Germaine in the I Am Discourses. It was channeled October 3rd, 1932. There's like 20 of these books. Here we go, Saint Germaine. Invocation. Thou infinite mighty presence. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Thou infinite mighty presence, thou all-pervading principle of life, we give praise and thanks for thy wondrous activity through all outer presence. Out of thy mighty essence comes all that is, and oh, that humanity might understand, thou art ever and forever self-sustained. Thou mighty active principle of life, surge forth in the outer activity of mankind and manifest thy supreme justice now in all places. Mighty presence of light, God in action, govern the minds of mankind, holding them to truth and justice, and see that thy messengers are placed in all official positions. Let naught of the outer interfere, that none of humanity may accept any thought of deception. Mighty presence of God in action, surge forth in the minds of all, expressing thy conquering presence. I bring you greetings from the perfected ones who are watching closely and ministering to all. All right, and I'll just read here for a moment. Life in all its activities everywhere manifest is God in action, the discourse. And it is only through lack of understanding, of applied thought and feeling, that mankind is constantly interrupting the pure flow of that perfect essence of life, which would, without interference, naturally express its perfection everywhere. The natural tendency of life is love, peace, beauty, harmony, and opulence. For life cares not who uses it, but is constantly surging to pour more of its perfection into manifestation, always with that lifting process which is ever inherent within itself. Take a breath into that. I am. I am is the activity of that life. How strange it is that students with sincere interest do not seem to get the true meaning of those two words. When you say and feel, I am, you release the spring of eternal, everlasting life to flow on its way unmolested. In other words, you open wide the door to its natural flow. When you say, I am not, you shut the door in the face of this mighty energy. I am is the full activity of God. And of course, it's called the Moses Code from James Film. You can also see that for free on YouTube as well. It's an hour long. Michael Beckwith is in there, one of my favorite teachers. and Neil Walsh and many good teachers. So Moses said to the burning bush, "Who shall I say sent me?" And the burning bush says, "I am that I am." Say, "I am sent you." I am that I am. And in the Moses Code, so I want to talk about James' manifestation technique here. Give you all my little techniques, that you can play with. James says, "I am that, comma, I am." And he says the comma is the space in which we're invited to declare what it is that we are. I am peace. I am. I am joy. I am. I am love. I am. Yeah. So you can play with it that way. You can just do it that way. And he has this other technique where you take the breath in. I am joy. I am. I am love. I am happiness. I am, etc. You take the inhalation of I am. You state what it is you're affirming. You see, my guides, all the teachers, everyone says to affirm, to manifest what we desire, we need to own it in the present moment and feel that it's already ours. We're not reaching for something outside of ourselves, okay? So, finally here, I am is the full activity of God, having placed before you so often the truth of God in action, I wish you to understand its first expression in individualization. The first expression of every individual everywhere in the universe, either in spoken word, silent thought, or feeling, is I am. Recognizing its own conquering divinity. This is Saint Germaine again. I'll just read a little bit more here. The student endeavoring to understand and apply these mighty yet simple laws must stand guard more strictly over his thought and expression, in word or otherwise. For every time you say, I am not, I cannot, I have not, you are, whether knowingly or unknowingly, throttling that great presence within you. This is of course Abraham, in a nutshell. This is just as tangible as if you placed your hands about the throat of an outer form. Only with the outer form, your thought governing the hand, you can release it at any time. All right, so you get the picture. And so, what else did I have for I am? Right? So, okay, so come back to Patricia Cota Robles. Thank you here. Won't keep you too much longer. So here is Patricia now. So we've discussed the ohms and ahs of Wayne Dyer. We've discussed the I am music, from Greg Braden's research of the God Code. We've discussed DNA rising and shrinking. Depending on light, sound, and emotion. Joy, it broadcasts. Fear, it constricts and retreats. That's why you see, people get dark. We get dark or we get bright. It's the light of your spirit. And see, I'm saying here again that, and this is why I was just quoting the Discourses, that when you're an actor on a stage, or you're a musician performing, or you're giving a lecture, or whatever you're doing, right? Those are high moments of intent, of intentionality. And what I want to say is the message from Spirit, both in astrology and from the guides, is, hey, everyone who's on the planet right now, you're in a time of high intentionality. You've wanted to be here when things are really speeding up. You've wanted to be a part of the energy when the old, Patricia mentioned the fall from grace, etc. We've talked about Atlantis and Lemuria and these kinds of energies that we've all been a part of in this and other lifetimes. And now, you can see, once again, I'll just say here, politically, socially, economically, and climatically, that the world is undergoing huge shifts in energy. All right, so once again, one more time here, my guides talk about the clash of the paradigms, and that, of course, everything is free will, and everything is a choice. So want to invite us during this time of high intentionality to take time and make space, like you're doing here with me, thank you, to be very focused on what you want. All right, so okay, some people are having a struggle with the Wi-Fi. Bless you. Anyway, I hope that makes sense, right? It makes sense to me up here. As I gathered all my bits and bobs here and wanted to talk about some of these things. So if you say, let's talk about the ego for a second, because that can be important here. If you say, I am joyous, and your ego says, no, you're not, or I am beautiful, and your ego says, no, you're not, or I am whatever, and your ego says, blah, blah, blah. So, obviously, to learn to turn down that voice, you can only think one thought at a time. Let me simplify it here, yeah? Hi, Jody. And so, and as this is Abraham again, if you feel good, you're thinking a thought that is aligned to source. Everything always works out for me. My life is a miracle. I am safe, loved, and supported. I always have what I need when I need it, etc., etc. Yeah, that's putting the needle on the music that you want your life to be about. It won't be there every second. It won't be there all the time. But when you're consciously doing it more and more often, Oren says, it helps, obviously. Oren says, affirmations are powerful because repetition is powerful. And you see, when we're going through this time of radical self-transformation, then we need to be disciplined, yes, devoted, yes, but more than anything, we need to know where we're focused. Like, as the world is shaking and jumbling, and there's climate stuff, and there's terrorist stuff, and there's economic stuff, and there's this, and there's that, people are going to start. I was thinking of the title of this book from way back when I was in junior high school, Future Shock. We're going to have moments where we go, wow, that's totally off the chart. I don't know what to do about that, or this is, freaking me out or whatever. Fine, okay. But at the same time, I want to say, everyone that would listen to what I have to say and my guides have to say here, you are striving to the best of your human ability, God love you, to be the change you want to see in the world. And spirit, love, will support that, you see. So, it's good. It's a good time to come together. It's a good time to work and do our work. And just say again here, if we have issues, judgments, fears, doubts, etc., about the past, about ourselves, about our connection to spirit, hey, boys and girls, that's what I've spent the better part of 30 years with spirit, learning how to help move people through that. So if I can help you with that in a session, yeah, it'd be a joy for me to support you in that way. I'm extremely good at what I do, and my rates are very reasonable. Ask anyone. Okay, so want to get to the I am here of Patricia Cota Robles. This is called Manifesting My Path of Life, yeah? And she's going to use the I am a lot, yeah? And that's what I want, that's why I've said all this about I am. So, do I have a different song here? Yes, I do. That's very nice. That's all right. It's gorgeous. All right. So I'm sure most of this is not new to you, but thank you again for allowing me to just share my joys and my passions about all this, and really, truly, the excitement, not only of getting to sit in my home here and do a little TV show with you every couple nights, and with people's help, it gets out to more and more people. But, again, to build a wave of energy together here, yeah, that we really feel that we're connected, across time and space with each other, that support is there for all of us, however we manifest that, great, it's a really powerful, exciting time. Where am I here? This is Saturday. In Thursday night's channeling, if you didn't hear that, it was pretty sweet, and we did a meditation about stepping into the sacred energy of being a spiritual leader, and we stood in the 4 directions, and we took on the energy of being the way shower, the visionary, the peacemaker, and the spiritual leader. And there's just many great resources out there, so use those things that inspire you, and I'm grateful if I get to be part of that with you here, yeah? All right, so this is long, and I want to respect the time here as much as I can, yours and mine. So let's dive into this, yeah? I'm going to do as much as feels right here for Patricia, manifesting my path of life. And I just want to point out on my own Facebook page. I have the link for her, for this channeling and for her stuff. It's called This is the Final Stage of Preparation. That's the name of that. And there's also, I look at Orin, ORINDABEN, yeah, .com, and they're wonderful. They have a different weekly meditation, and the meditation this week is about love and will, yeah, about using our will for love, basically. Yeah, let me find that here somewhere. All right, anyway, it's there. And yeah, we still have the links with Divine Government, with the angel, and all of that there. Yeah, okay, so let me get to Patricia here. All right, so thank you for listening. Thank you for your love and support. Sessions with Lou via Skype, great stuff. Now's the time, my friends, before things get too intense. Yeah, when you can, if it'll help you, yeah, it's my pleasure. And my ebook, which I'm so proud of, called The Invitation. Brenda Garcia, who's online there, thank you, Brenda. She's a furious, wonderful transcriber. So she and I are starting what will be section 2 of that, yeah, already. So that's great, because that's coming out of these conversations here as well. Okay, so here we go. Manifesting my path of life, yeah? Go ahead, close your eyes, take a deep breath. I am my I am presence, and I am one with the I am presence of all humanity. As one breath, one voice, one heartbeat, and one energy, vibration and consciousness of pure divine love, I proceed. I invoke this activity of light for myself. I invoke it on behalf of every person on earth in perfect alignment with his or her divine plan and the highest good for all concerned. During this cosmic moment on my beloved planet Earth, change is easily manifesting in my life through God's divine grace and love. As each aspect of my life that needs changing now surfaces before me, I love it free and forgive myself for any perceived transgression of the laws of harmony and balance. I know I am a child of God, and I deserve to be loved and forgiven. As the changes take place, I am experiencing a sense of inner calm, patience, and peace. I am my I am presence, and I am one with the I am presence of all humanity. I am one with this infinite intelligence within me. With the intervention of my I am presence, I am always able to make correct choices. I love myself unconditionally, and I am grateful for the opportunity to change, which I now accept with deep humility and gratitude. The divine power to sustain these changes is continually flowing through my newly balanced, immortal, victorious, threefold flame. From this moment forth, I individually and collectively choose to create a life of oneness, divine love, reverence for life, peace, prosperity, vibrant health, and all that supports my highest good. My I am presence has taken full dominion of this activity of light, and now, as one, I affirm. I am perpetually reflecting God's divine love, wisdom, and power. I am the immaculate concept of my full divine potential as my I am presence. I am able to transform every aspect of my life into the infinite perfection of heaven on earth. Now, as I lift up in consciousness, I ascend into the realms of illumined truth. I pass over the bridge of freedom, which is the highway of light that connects heaven and earth. I enter the pure land of boundless splendor and infinite light, which is the fifth dimensional, crystalline frequencies of solar light associated with the new earth. I am one with God. I am that I am. The entire company of heaven is standing in readiness now, and I send forth a clarion call into the universe, invoking my illumined brothers and sisters to come and help me in this moment of transformation. The cosmic tone of my clarion call reverberates through all dimensions, and the response comes from every corner of the cosmos. I see the luminous presence of legions of divine beings descending into the atmosphere of Earth. They take their strategic positions above the planet and begin forming a tremendous circle of light as they stand shoulder to shoulder. As one unified consciousness, one holy breath, one heartbeat, one energy and vibration of pure divine love, the beings of light breathe into their heart flames from the very heart of God, the most intensified frequencies of the fifth dimensional, crystalline solar violet flame of God's infinite perfection that humanity and the earth are capable of withstanding at a cellular level. Now the light workers on earth prepare to be the open portal through which this divine gift of the violet flame will manifest in the world of form. Through every person's I am presence, the threefold flame blazing in his or her heart begins to expand and expand until it envelops their physical, etheric, mental, and emotional bodies. As one, we experience a beautiful blue flame blazing through our left brain hemisphere and the left side of our body. This is the masculine polarity of God pulsating with the divine will, power, and authority of our Father God's first cause of. Now as one, thank you, we experience a beautiful pink flame blazing through the right brain hemisphere and the right side of our body. This is the feminine polarity of God, pulsating with the divine love, adoration, and reverence for life of our Mother God, the Holy Spirit. As brand new frequencies of the masculine and feminine polarities of God are balanced within us, we experience rising up between these sacred flames the yellow gold flame, which represents the sons and daughters of God, pulsating with Christ consciousness and divine wisdom, illumination and enlightenment of our I am presence, and as one we affirm, I am now enveloped in my newly activated, fifth dimensional, crystalline, solar, immortal, victorious, threefold flame. Through this sacred fire, I am the full expression of my I am presence, here and now, in the world of form. I now affirm my path of life. I remember who I am, and I love and respect myself as a beloved child of God. I am enveloped in the invincible protection of God's light and love as I sojourn through all of my earthly experiences. I am manifesting perfection in my physical, etheric, mental, and emotional bodies. I am vibrantly healthy and eternally youthful. Divine love perpetually flows through my heart flame. I am creating wonderful, loving relationships in every aspect of my life. I am fulfilling my divine purpose and reason for being. I am financially and creatively rewarded in my job. Day by day, I am open and receptive to the infinite flow of God's abundance. I am financially free. I am reaching my highest divine potential in all of my experiences as a son or daughter, a woman or man, a wife or husband, a mother or father, a grandmother or grandfather, as a relative, a friend, a co-worker, a teacher, a way-shower, a steward of the earth, a light worker, and a co-creator of heaven on earth. I am an exponent of divine family life, including my place in the family of humanity. My heart is the open door through which flows the infinite light of God's divine love, eternal peace, abundance, wisdom, enlightenment, illumination, harmony, balance, happiness, and abounding joy. Through my thoughts, feelings, words, actions, memories, and beliefs, I am a living example of divine love, truth, integrity, honesty, tolerance, acceptance, and reverence for all life. I communicate openly and honestly with every person I come in contact with. I am a compassionate and thoughtful listener. I continually ask for guidance from my I Am presence, and I receive information and viable solutions to the various situations surfacing in my life. I also receive guidance that will assist me in fulfilling my divine plan. I now realize through all levels of consciousness that I am a powerful instrument of God during this auspicious time on earth. I now invoke the fifth dimensional, crystalline, solar, violet flame of God's infinite perfection to transmute into light every thought, feeling, word, action, memory, or belief I have ever expressed in any time frame or dimension, both known and unknown. That would in any way prevent these patterns of perfection from manifesting in my life. I accept my path of life is God, victoriously manifesting right here and now, even as I call. I am aware that I am a multidimensional being, and that I abide simultaneously in both pure land of boundless splendor and infinite light in the heavenly realms and in the physical world of form on the new earth. My life now reflects the immaculate concept of all that I have invoked this sacred and holy day. With my every breath, I am continually an open portal for the full magnitude of the patterns of perfection I have called forth this day from the core of creation. These patterns are manifesting in my life daily and hourly. Moment by moment, the transformation into the perfection of the new earth is occurring, and these archetypes are manifesting in the lives of all humanity. This is the order of the new cosmic day on planet Earth. Thank you, beloved Father, Mother, God, and so it is. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. Peace and blessings. Namaste.